Hi, everybody. It's Trinity Sapphire, and you're watching and listening to the Community Leaders Podcast.
What's up? It's your boy LOS, and you are watching the Community Leaders Podcast. And today we got a special guest, and she goes by the name of Trinity Sapphire. What's up, Trinity?
Hi, how are you?
I am good. It's a beautiful day. It was raining earlier, and now the sun is out.
It's beautiful,
Doesn't
right?
Doesn't it feel good?
Yes, it feels wonderful outside.
Boy. So how was your day today?
Oh, God. My day today was good. It wasn't as hectic as I thought it was going to be. Mm-hmm. It was actually really smooth and,
Okay, copacetic?
Yes, copacetic. That's a good word, yes. That's what I will use for this day, yes.
Word up. So can you tell the people what you do?
Yes, I am an entrepreneur, spoken word artist, activist, author, writer, and I also intern for the 411 movement for Pierre Lorry, ran by Arroyo Karen Winters. Shout out to Arroyo. Hi. So what we do is we work with the youth to indulge them in the arts, whether that's poetry, rap, singing, dance, culinary. We do this in hopes to keep them away from violence. So everything we do is based around mental health and violence prevention and education.
That's awesome. And we are definitely in the Mental Health Awareness Month of May.
Yes, we are.
That's awesome. Are they doing anything special for this month?
So we are a hybrid non-for-profit. So a lot of our programming is really around in the summertime. So catch us in the summer.
Okay, word. So I got to ask you.
Okay.
Because you said, I was going to put you on the spot. You said you do poetry.
Yes, I do poetry.
Okay. So I'm putting you on the spot, girl.
Oh, you putting me on the spot right?
Right now.
Wow, what am I gonna do?
You got like 20 in your head. I know you got like 20 poems in your head right now. I know you do.
Okay, well, I can do one of my favorite ones. It's called Sinner's Creed, and it's basically a poem about an imperfect person coming to God, questioning whether they should continue their journey with faith or not, even though they know this is the right thing to do. But sometimes life is just life,
Life be lifing.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. Hey, God. It's me again. I'm stretching myself so humbly. My crown propels to the sky of your grace's end. My arms begin to lift and my fingertips widen. The demands of your sublime praises begin to roll off my tongue, Father. I hope you could hear this. For my praises are becoming innovated. It's always give and take, yet somehow I still end up with the take, but I keep going. Keep fasting, keep praying because you have heard my cries and seen my tears yet. My tears fill rivers with infinite streams. Anxiety boats sail the currents of my brain for the equivalent of 40 days and 40 nights. I fight to stay afloat, to not return to the dark abyss, Father. It's me. I'm coming to you so humbly, despite life not being the most humbling. I continue to rejoice in your good graces. And he said unto her, Daughter, your faith has healed you. Go in peace and be free from your suffering. Sincerely, a Sinner's Creed.
Let's go. Come on, somebody. I put you on the spot and you delivered. Thank you so much for that. Thank you. Wow, what a blessing. Thank you so much. So the question right now is, why do you do what you do for the community?
Wow. I do what I do for the community because I was a troubled youth, and that's our target in the 411. We like to work with troubled youth, I think sometimes, or a lot of the times, our troubled youth still are overlooked, underserved, and they're right here in the same community. I think sometimes it's easier to not pay attention to the chaotic one. Because sometimes people are just afraid of like the journey or what you're kind of getting yourself into. But part of me growing up wish I had to listen to the lessons that, my mentors and my elders were trying to instill in me. And then it was just another part of me that just wanted to heal and just wanted to be a kid and just wanted to do kid things, So I know what that feels like and I know what that looks like. So if I can put myself in a position to help another, that's what I'm going to do.
That's awesome. And I thank you for doing that. I actually work for Juvenile Detention Center in St. Charles. And I'm with kids that are in jail. They're in prison. And they've just been led the wrong way. I believe that because I hear their stories. They're good kids. They just did something wrong. They did a mistake. So I'm glad that you're there. See, I'm in the prison with them, but you're trying to prevent that from happening. So I applaud you for doing that, for stepping in the gap, right? And continue doing that. That's awesome. So I want to know a little bit about you.
Okay.
So who were you when you were 10 years old?
When I was 10 years old, I was a lively child, very misunderstood, little sporadic, creative, full of energy. I love colors. I love patterns. I loved different types of fabrics. And I just like for things to be crisp. In a sense, it was so weird at the age to just like for something to be just neat, Okay. So at that time, I wanted to be a designer, but I was all around the arts. I was really exploring. I was dancing. I was writing, and I was just in the arts.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to take you a little further. Who were you at 15 years old?
At 15 years old, the honest answer is I was just a teenager in high school trying to figure it out.
You were wilding out. That's what it sounds like. It sounds like you were wilding out.
Just a teenager in high school trying to figure it out, still into the arts. This time I had got a little bit more experience under my belt. So I was out with After School Matters in Chicago Dance Center or Ballet Center and things like that. Mm-hmm. Just doing things in the community, trying to see where I fit in the entertainment industry because that was always a thing of mine.
It sounds like entertainment was something you always wanted to do and always will do.
Yes.
From what it sounds like.
Yes, I've grown up around it. Some of my favorite cousins are some of the best entertainers to me. I grew up seeing them on TV, seeing them in festivals and doing their things. So that's just where I am.
So you grew up on the west side of Chicago?
Yes, Austin area.
The Austin area. So what do we call that? We just called it Austin area, or is there a different name to it?
I just called it Austin area.
CLF calls it West side, the best side.
The West,
That's what we call it. West side, the best side.
West Side is the best side. I don't want to start nothing, but the West Side is the best side.
Awesome. So let's take you to the journey when you were 20 years old. Who was Trinity?
Who was Trinity at 20 years old? You don't want to know who Trinity was at 20 years old.
Why is that?
It wasn't a pretty picture. Trinity was one of those diamonds, like in a rough, just on her way to adulthood, trying to just figure it all out. You know, 20 was...
Sounds like a tough time.
It was, I wouldn't necessarily use tough. I would say very bittersweet because I learned a lot of experiences that grounded me and molded me to be this person now. You know, and some things that I went through, I had to experience it because, you know, experiences help us grow into adulthood.
Is there elaborating on that? If you want to share.
No.
No. Okay. We spoke about that. Only if you want to. So if you were talking to a young person on the arts, what would the advice you would give them? You pretty much do that now, right?
Yeah, it just depends on where they're going. Okay, so hear me out.
Okay.
I realized in my journey in entrepreneurship and what I'm doing, I realized that I have somewhat become like an activist. And also sometimes people can take you and put you in a pedestal that they want you to be instead of taking off the lens and seeing who you are right in the moment, because that's the reality, right? So my advice would be to take your time, you know, get your affairs in order, because even though you're taking your time is still running out. Don't put too much on yourself. Allow yourself time to grow, to develop, to learn. Don't count yourself out because you don't know certain things, or something is hard or it's different, you know. And those times we are growing the most, when we're just trying to figure it out, or just trying to figure out like what place we are supposed to be in. Those are the times that we're growing and learning the most. Don't be afraid to venture out. You know, it's a whole world out there, you know, and maybe you'll be the one to learn something and bring it back to your community. And now look at you starting a trend. That's awesome. You know, that's progress.
Awesome. So you went to grammar school on the west side of Chicago?
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I went to Leslie Lewis Elementary School.
How was your experience there?
I mean, I guess it was okay if you're like a regular kid. I was never a regular kid. Nothing about me was ever regular or just in the cut. Like it was always something that made me stand out. So that brought on like a lot of challenges for me, because I'm the oldest, and you know, my brothers and sisters, we're all going to the same school.
Okay.
So
we never got there. How many brothers and sisters?
Well, it's 4 of us on my mom's side, me being the oldest, and we have a baby.
Okay.
Yeah. So at this time, it was just 3 of us, me, the second oldest, my brother, and then the middle child, my sister. Well, at the time, she was the baby, my sister. And so it was just a lot. navigating trying to be an older sibling and trying to be a role model for them, and then battling peer pressures, friends, extracurricular activities, and just not being the cool kid, you know.
Right.
I feel like I've always been like a socialite, but I never like deem myself a cool kid because I'm quirky. Sometimes I can make the moments awkward, but that's me, you know. You gotta love it. And so that's what it was.
Well, Trinity, you know most superstars are quirky. Right? They just are.
Hey, if it's meant to be like that, then
Look at Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey is quirky like there's no tomorrow.
yes, he is. I agree.
Superstar.
He's very quirky, and I love it. But I don't know. It doesn't bother me now, but back then it's like, well, why can't I just freaking be like the other kids?
Were you being judged?
I was being judged a lot, quite a lot. Well, okay, I am transgender, and I was a very, very neat, feminine young man growing up. Okay, and that was kind of hard because at times when I didn't know who I was, people would put me in a box and be like, "Oh, well, you're this," or whatever. I didn't know this. I was still like in an innocent mind, and mind you, sometimes this would be adults and things of that nature. So I don't know. Elementary school was interesting. I wouldn't go back.
It was kind of tough.
I wouldn't go back.
Yeah, you wouldn't go back.
No.
Elementary school for me was, it was fun. High school sucked.
You know what? And that is actually the complete opposite because high school, yes, it was a little tough, but I had so much fun in high school. Like, I don't know, high school was when I felt my freest.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. More accepted.
No, just my freest.
Just freest?
Yes.
Okay. So what high school did you go to?
I went to Roe Clark and then I finished at Orr High School.
Okay. Good old Orr, boy. Good old Orr, boy.
Yeah.
I remember going on the bus past Orr. I was like, okay. It's like going back past Clemente. Okay.
Yes, I don't even stay. I still stay like in that community. So sometimes I pass by and it's like,
West Side,
look
yeah.
at reminiscing.
Yeah. So what happened after high school? What did you do? Where we're at?
After high school, I got myself like established to the point like on paper, my resume and stuff. I started working different various jobs from catering to in-house to customer service. I just wanted to get a lot of different things under my belt because I knew I wanted to go to school. So when I did enroll, I kind of wanted to be a little well-rounded, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So now.
Okay, now.
We're here now. And you've been going to CLF for different classes and whatnot.
Yes.
Which one did you like the best? If you had to choose one. I know they're all good, right? But if you have to choose one, what are these classes? What are you learning? Which one did you learn the best? What did you take away from it?
Okay. Well, my favorite class, my favorite session was the session with Dion. We learned about entrepreneurship, what it means to have integrity in your business and outside of your business, when the cameras are rolling, when the cameras aren't rolling.
So good.
Yes, it was just one of the rawest and soulful sessions I felt. That session really locked me in, you know. I feel like the journey with CLF throughout these last few months has been so beautiful. I've learned a lot about myself collegiately. Learned a lot about my time management.
Oh, time management. You know, I got a guy named Alex. Ooh, he needs those time management classes.
Really? Listen, I understand. I learned a lot about my time management. Shout out to Dr. O for always staying on me. Yes.
Shout out to Dr. O, definitely. Yeah.
So, you know, it's been beautiful. And even just with my capstone group and working on this capstone project that we have, it is just so beautiful being able to come together and, you know, present in front of like different funders and alums and different things. Like, I am really enjoying myself here.
So your capstone, I know you brought that up, capstone. What did you work on?
So I'm glad you brought that up. So my capstone group is Westside Change Champions, and we are doing WOW Day, a Westside Youth Leadership Day, and it's actually going to be an award ceremony where we acknowledge different youth on the west side of Chicago.
I heard this was going to be really special because I was there actually for the presentations. So where does this one going to be held at?
This one is going to be held at Austin Town Hall.
Mm-hmm. So you're bringing the kids in to award them, correct?
Yes.
How many awards are going out?
Can't say yet, but we have quite a bit of awards going out, and we have like the top, like our top 5 Shining Stars awards and things.
Okay.
It's going to be beautiful.
Cool. So I wanted to ask you a question.
Okay.
So your first, wait a second, before I say that, your first outing with CLF was at a hotel, wasn't it?
Yes, my first outing with CLF. We went to the Global Leadership Conference.
Yeah, exactly. That's where I met you.
Yes.
That's where I met you.
Really?
Remember?
Oh my God.
That's when we first met. Then we went bowling.
Yes, I do remember.
Yeah.
I do. Yes, we had a session. It was in our afternoon session. Yes, I remember that.
That was a lot of fun.
Yes, it was a lot of fun.
I think that whole weekend being over there at the hotel and then going to the summit they have, huge church, huge church, right? Looked like a concert-like place, but just getting to know you guys and bowling, going bowling and just chopping it up with you guys and bringing bread and whatnot. I was blessed by that, and I was blessed by meeting you as well. Good times. So, question, Trinity.
Okay.
Your next 5 years, what does it look like?
Hopefully, traveling the world, going to grad school, establishing my motivational speaking series. I would like to have a nice number of solo projects out, audiobooks, and readable books. Continuing with the 411 to do the work because I realize this work is bigger than anything I can ever imagine. That's what it looks like for me.
Looks like right now?
Yes.
You mentioned grad school.
Yes.
We never even talked about college. So what college did you go to?
I'm an undergrad right now at National Louis University.
Okay, awesome.
I'm getting my degree in communications and media.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes. I think I need to follow your steps. I need to do the same thing. This is what I do. And yes, I say yes to that. Awesome.
You know what's so funny? I didn't even start off as a comm major. When I came in, my major was criminal justice and psychology because I was just sure I was going to be a lawyer and then come in there and open up my own precinct or something. I don't know. I just thought I was going to do it until I got into my second semester of my freshman year, and I was like, yeah, I'm traumatized and I'm bored. What else? What else is there to do? And then, as I started experiencing different things and working on different projects throughout my terms there, I learned a lot about myself, and it helped me to find my passion in the things that I wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. So how do you see yourself helping the west side of Chicago?
Huh?
He said, huh? So how do you see yourself helping the west side of Chicago? What do you want to see different? That should be the question. What do you want to see different happening on the west side of Chicago?
I want to see more activity centers for youth. I want to see more farmer jobs or any type of jobs that can come and kind of give our young men who have not understood their consequences, I think that would be lovely if, they had somewhere where they can build themselves and their resumes and just go out. I wish that there were things that could make enjoying ourselves or the things that we want to do not so hard to reach on the west side. When you look at the south side, in the north side, they have all these things, community centers, skating rinks, and things, and don't get me wrong, but I haven't seen anything to bring our west side youth together since Wildlife Camp here on the west side, so I would love to see something that is able to bring everybody together with no violence, no hatred, no jealousy, no ulterior motives, just people having a good time.
Yeah. Last question. You ready?
Yeah.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
If I had a superpower,
what would it be?
oh God. Okay. If I had a superpower, my superpower would be I'll be able to read people's mind, and I'll go in and be able to only have them remember the good things about some stuff. Yeah.
I think that's, you know what? I usually find that answer to be I don't want to know people. I don't want to read their minds. But the way you broke it down is that you'll only have them remember the good things.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Sometimes, sometimes we do need to remember the bad things to learn from them. But sometimes those bad things, they don't do good for us. So I think that was good. Thank you so much for that.
That's Shay.
So, Trinity, thank you for coming down to the Community Leaders Podcast.
No problem. Thank you for having me. To everybody out there, I am so nervous. I love y'all.